So this is take 3, because take 1 and 2 messed up. Anyways, my name is Wilfredo Soto, and follow me on Twitter at Mr. Resilient 808. So yeah, I've been thinking about energy, isobars, solar, all this stuff, and about how I think personally, listen, culture shock is a real thing, all right? Great Depression was a problem, and some individuals did not get the love or the care or the ability to Kubler-Ross what they feel, and they need that attention, kinda, and a lot of people are just kind of arguing with their mom, dad, grandparents, or whoever it is. That's probably where most arguments happen. Oh, if I'm wrong, blah, 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 and I'm still arguing with somebody because of this conversation from 90 years ago, So, what do? Well, part of it is culture shock, part of it is, active listening, and part of it is a lot more that I don't want to talk about. There's a beautiful tangent, beautiful sidebar. Yeah, I'm here to talk about time. The ability, the idea of moving at the speed of light or something, right? So here's the thing. I think this is important because, let me try again. Here's the thing. So, Hurricane Maria, Hurricane Sandy, right? Happened. Destruction, chaos, very sad. Here's the thing. This whole energy moving, right? I took a course at aquaculture, UConn oceanography, did decent, and the idea of isobars and how energy uses something to get from one side of the room to the next, right? I think it's convection or conduction. And the interesting thing about how a wave is formed, this is basically kind of it's almost like not Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, but it's all that stuff together, and they influence each other. Anyways, the cool thing is this: energy goes from the H on the weather map to the L, right? And the way we remember this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, right? So it goes from H to L. At the L is usually the center, eye of the hurricane, and all this other stuff happens near the H. So more destruction near the H, less destruction near the L. Now, bringing that back to the idea of solar panels and stuff. If the entire universe was clean or Buddha or whatever it is, and, the entire planet was green, we would still be having this conversation that we talk about with oil. Oh, it's polluting the environment. It's just, instead of the remote control, instead of a level of I don't know, pick a random number, bell curve average would be a 5, 68%, one standard deviation. So maybe pollution is at an 8 or something, Although right now it's not necessarily unusual anymore, so it's before standard deviation, the second standard deviation, right? So maybe it's at 1.99 infinite gagillion 9 or something. So a 7.5. Well, let's say 8 because it's easy, and the 8 looks like the infinity symbol. So we'll say 8. Okay. Here's the thing. Even if solar, which is probably to some people at a 0 or a 1, which is in the infinity realm, because some are we're never going to get it. Even if that was at the average at a 5, eventually someone like me in 40 or something would be hey, in order to go beyond the speed of light and maybe time travel or go double the speed of light or somehow, but how can we do that? We have to reduce pollution because steady as she goes, right? If there's more snow, more ice, more leaves in the swamp, more salt, more something, more individual something, well, that's inertia. Right? Pause. This is important. It's inertia. Velocity, blah, 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 Matter can't be created or destroyed, right? Although it can time travel. So maybe like a faucet. Maybe go somewhere else. But we don't know where it's going, so how do you know it's not destroyed? We can't say that. Blah, blah, blah. I don't want to talk about that now, although I can probably solve that too. Here's the thing. Well, let's not say solve, but you know what I mean. Here's the thing. If everything was green, 100%, 99.99% solar, we would also have to reduce the amount of energy we're using, solarly, because even though we can't really see it, right? Kind of like magic, we can't see it, we just know it's there. Kind of like our soul, we can't see it, we know it's there. Our memories, can't see it, we know it's there. Our bank account, but we know it's there. That energy that goes from the sun to the L, the solar panel, well, that has a rate too. And that rate that it's traveling, because that's energy, because that's something going from here to there, that's still data. That's still inertia. That's still, we'll call it leaves. Okay? It's still like leaves right there that's, steady as she goes. If we use less, it would appear that if everything would average, right? If everything averages, it would appear that if we use less, then the amount needed to average would be less. So, if we have, 10 of something, and they only have 90 seconds to get to to halftime, wherever the middle is, and they're 10 yards apart, well, they're going to have to travel faster. If we still have 10 of something, and they have to get to halftime, but this time they're half as many yards apart, so 5, then still have 90 seconds, they don't have to travel as quickly. Everybody's going to meet up at the average at the same time. That's the point. Using less solar now, using less individual now equals less something from here to there, meaning less from H to L, less from the edge of the storm to the center. And less energy means the storm travels less speed, right? Less of something means, so that's important. Moving beyond that, when we're talking about this concept, once we master this concept, then we can presume, because we don't really assume. Everything's a presumption from somewhere. I thought this, so I kind of thought that. Doesn't mean it's an assumption. I thought something, so I thought something else. Everything's a presumption. Even if you don't know language, even if you have no freaking clue, it's still like, oh, I felt this, so I kind of felt that. The subconscious kind of does that. The mind, the body, muscles, it kind of does that. That's important. I'm going to finish my thought about the time travel thing. Once we master the idea of getting less something from here to there, right, sun to solar panel, it's like, well, why do we have to do that? I want to enjoy my life. Right, I get it, but in 40, yeah, but it's 2018 AD, who cares? Well, this is important. Because let's presume that time travel is real. Let's presume time travel is something that can go from here to there and beyond. So from here to beyond, meaning, if you got homeostasis, right? When I think of an elliptical, I kind of think of mitosis or maybe a stressed out circle. Too much friction. It's not perfect. Too much friction. Not perfect, it's kind of stressed out. Something needs to happen. This is important so that we can maintain homeostasis and continue to thrive. What does it mean to be an individual? Neurochemistry, and to share the difference between another individual who may share, yet may have something different than neurochemistry. This is important. We just discovered flick. Clearly, this is important. This is the beauty, neurochemistry. I feel, my adventure, my vibe, all of it, my 5 senses. And I'm sharing that to continue and to have, 7 or 8 protocols or variables to say that, we can move on. You gotta make babies and, all that stuff. I forget what it is, but all that stuff. This is important, right? So bringing it back. So this is important. Moving beyond, right? Beyond homeostasis, maybe beyond our veil, our whatever it is that keeps the universe. Moving beyond that, maybe to a different dimension. How do you do that? Well, you got to think, if you minimize the amount of something now, and we presume that something we minimize now time travels, well, if you ever rub your hands together, the more something that goes from here to there, if there's more friction, there's more energy, and it's more difficult. This is important because if we presume time travel is happening, then I don't want to get all some individual who didn't have the right facts, allegedly didn't have the right facts about, science and stuff and pollution. Even though I went to UConn and I try and keep things empirical, which I guess is progressive. You know, you gotta consider this. Some of this data is going beyond, whatever our dimension is, and may be significantly influencing another somewhere else. Everything kind of averages. So maybe in a different dimension, there's another United States somewhere that's like, yo, why we keep cleaning, And maybe not beyond. Maybe beyond is in a different, direction. If you're at the center of something, beyond could be north, could be east, could be west, could be south. Maybe beyond is back to the dinosaurs, Whoa, pause. Think about everything I said. If what we're doing now is going to influence maybe 40-40 or, something, 50-50, because of time travel, you got to think our choices now. Look at probability and statistics. What's sabermetrics and stoichiometrics, and it's real. And when I took stats, all you needed was a sample or a population N of 4 or 3.2 or something for it to be. And I've seen the data for it to be pretty similar to a sample of 10 or 100 or 1,000. You don't need a lot. Think about it. 50-50. What we're doing now, if we're time traveling, is who knows? We got Wi-Fi. Now I'm gonna kind of get a little creative. We got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, great. Maybe that's how time travels beyond somewhere else. Oh, Wilfredo, are you saying that might? No, I'm just saying who knows? Maybe in space or something. I mean, right? We got the United States Supreme Court, which is great. It would appear that given the United States continues